morning, goddammit, because I'm gonna get these. I can't remember. It's a Smith machine squats, and this machine's getting worse. I'm getting more and more friction, and at 6 reps, I got more. I could have more, but I was stop. So today I did 3-weighted barbell squats because the Smith machine, I gotta fix this thing. And I don't really like 3-weighted barbell squats for myriad of reasons that you should probably know why, but yeah, anyway. That's what was happening. I did these, and there's so much friction on mid-range, and it just made me not want to do this fucking exercise. So yeah, that's why I'm not using this machine today. We'll see me do some free-weighted barbell squats, which don't feel as good. My hips and lower back don't like it. But anyway, today I want to talk about training legs for clients. So again, following this personal training advice trend. If you're a personal trainer and you're training clients, how should you train their legs? And this is a finicky one. It's contextual, but it's very important because you fuck this one up and you might lose a client because training legs is really hard. But the first thing I say is, well, for one, unless you have a client that's training who's a bit more advanced, or a guy that's training with you, or a woman that's training with you that's training more frequently, you're going to have to probably give them full body workouts, especially when you first start. I mean, it's the best way to train because you can get with more frequency. So yeah, you're doing full body training. Well, you're gonna have to start off with some squats, and you can only really have one exercise for legs that you're gonna be able to fit into an hour session. So when you're doing full body, the bang for your buck is the squat. It does most of the legs decently distributed. Maybe doesn't isolate the glutes and hamstrings as much, but when you first start, everything fucking works. You make adaptations to just about any stimulus. So the squat will do most of what it needs to do when you first start. But the actual variations is what matters a lot. So, for example, when I have a client that comes in and they are, tall or old, I don't give them full range of motion ass to grass squats like I'm doing here, because it's too technical and it's too dangerous, and they don't have the muscular stability or the joint stability to do these, or the technical efficiency to do these. So I'll give them something a bit easier and a little bit less technical. That way they can get straight into actually training hard in a Smith machine squat or a Bulgarian split squat. And the other thing to consider is the variations for this person's psychology. If someone is very lazy or doesn't like training much, maybe don't give them a squat at all. Maybe give them a leg press. Because if you start having someone do squats and they're fucking mentally weak, they're probably not going to want to come back and train with you. Whereas if you get like an actual go-getter, some young guy who just wants the big fucking strong legs, then yeah, give him a fucking free-weighted barbell squat if his body functions properly. Or give him a Smith machine squat. But certainly don't give a 70-year-old woman who can barely fucking stand off a chair an ass to grass squat. You know what I'm saying? So, and there's a spectrum in between, but generally consider their mentality, what they like. Maybe start them off on easier squat variations and then slowly increase them. But in general, the best squat variation is just the ass to grass Smith machine if they can do a decent squat, because it doesn't take as much technique, and therefore they can start building more muscle and strength quicker rather than having to get more neurologically efficient and technically efficient at movement. So I would say overall, Smith machine squat would be the best bet. The next best bet would be a box squat if they don't have adequate mobility. But just get rid of the stability component. And this is just a general piece of advice in general. If you want better leg strength and size without having to worry about technical efficiency or injury or whatever, that's another thing. You don't want clients getting injured because you're going to get sued. The Smith machine is the best bet. But leg press is great too. Box squat's great. And then if they are, athletic or whatever, or physically functional, and give them a free-weighted barbell squat by all means if you want to. But Smith machine is better. What else we got to think about here? How much leg training do they want or need? So let's say, my leg genetics are shit, so I need a fuck ton of leg training to get big, strong legs. But there are dudes who've come in to train with me before where I'm like, man, they're fundamentally quite a bit weaker in the legs, like they can't squat nearly as much as me, but they have bigger, more muscular legs. Like genetics, when it comes to legs, like there is a big, big genetic component. Some people just have fucking massive legs. Very rare that you have a guy come in and they already just have massive arms or massive chest or massive back. back maybe a little bit more frequently, genetic predisposition, but nothing like the legs do you get where clients just come in where they just already have these fucking massive legs. Like legs the size of mine, if not bigger with that in life. That is not that uncommon. And so a guy like that, you only need to really train their legs, subpar. You don't have to train them super hard, especially if they don't like training like hard as fuck and they're maybe a bit more mentally soft. And guys already got massive legs, just do the bare minimum. They're going to respond to it anyway. They got great leg genetics. You don't need to be doing 3 sessions a week. Maybe do 1 squat a week, or maybe do 2 squats a week, but with less intensity and volume, because they're genetically gifted. And focus more on their body, which ultimately is what men typically want to develop more anyway. The guy comes in and they have, huge legs, they got skinny, probably just do buckle squats, let them progress as a genetically gifted, and put all the recovery demands into their upper body. Whereas if a woman comes in, obviously 30 to 40 minutes of that session is going to be leg work. So if a lady comes in, you probably want to be doing barbell squats, and then a Romanian deadlift, and then a hamstring isolation movement, and then maybe some ab and core work, and then a little bit of arms and shoulders, maybe triceps if they don't want to get rid of their dingo rings or whatever. But as far as training men, which probably be most people's demographics, unless you're like super handsome or some shit, is going to be men, and then you just consider the genetics and then mental strength. But also give them, reasons to train legs. If someone comes in, give them a bunch of rationales as to why leg training is super important. You can't make your heart 10 times stronger in a year. You can't make your heart 10 times stronger in general. But I've had clients come in, and after a year, they're easily 10 times stronger than their legs. They start off barely doing their standing bench, and then a year later, they're squatting 120 kilos. So give them reasons as to why that is important, and then let them know that, if you make your legs 10 times stronger, you'll be significantly better at doing any of your physical daily activities. If you want to go upstairs or go on a run or go on a bushwalk or pick up your kids, you'll be way better off if you can just quadruple your fucking squat, which you can easily do in 3 months when you first start. So give them a bunch of different rationales as to why they should train legs. If they're a woman, let them know that the fact is men like legs, or maybe not say that because they might think it's suspicious, but, I don't know. Just give them rationales as to why training legs is super important. If it's a man, it's because they'll be better and fitter and stronger. If it's a woman, well, hint in a very indirect way that they'll be more aesthetically pleasing to their husband or some shit. You know what I mean? That kind of mental motivation will give them better motivation to do something that they hate doing and training legs. Anyway, that'll do it for today. Peace out. Bye.